Let me phrase the question. So basically, how companies understand the good and bad aspect about data and take actions on that, right?
Yes.
All of this is very contextual and relative. The good data and bad data, right? First is, what is the definition of good in what context, right? Means I'm solving a business problem and I feel that I'm not getting enough insights, and my operational processes are not collecting enough information. There is a lot of nulls value, there is a lot of inconsistency. It makes it hard to make a business decisions about the data, from the data, right? Now, second part is the risk that is presented by the data, right? The risk is that if I do not understand the context of this data, I will end up making wrong decisions. So the way I see is operational data is your business decision. If I capture too much of data at the time of user sign on, users will not sign on, and I might actually land myself in trouble. So how you basically do data minimization and baseline the definition of good and bad. So one definition of good and bad is based on your operational process. That, okay, this is a baseline. We are actually not capturing. The null value is okay. Second definition of good and bad is the depth of metadata and context that we want to infer. And that is exactly where the biggest challenge is. And that is where all the data governance professional, privacy aspect, security aspect, that comes into play. The content is one thing, and context about that content is another thing. So that is where organizations need to invest, that any point of time, that metadata, no matter how the content is exactly up to date. They cannot compromise on the metadata. The content is a property of your operational process. If user decide not to share their phone number, that is not a bad quality. That is just how my operational process is. But not able to figure out whether that is a user data coming from a sign-on or user data coming from a two-factor authentication, that is bad. If we have a metadata with nulls, that is bad. Content with nulls is a definition of operational process. So sometimes quality definition can be very, very contextual. So my pitch is define content from the operations perspective and define metadata quality from end-to-end business operations perspective. And that is where you have to have 100% score. At any given point of time, metadata quality should be good and known.